Hello everyone, I am Golden Yashni. I am here to present direct and preventive control. So, managers are ultimately responsible for the appropriate use and control of the fund entrusted to them. So, managers use different approaches to control the fund and resources allocated to them for producing maximum result. From the viewpoint of approach to management, controlling processes can be grouped into two broad categories, that is direct control and preventive control. So, in direct control also termed as detective controls is an attempt to detect undesirable acts that have occurred. The cause of unsatisfactory result is traced out and the person responsible are identified. Then they are advised to correct their practices. Direct control involves comparing output with the standards or plans in terms of specific parameters like time, cost, quantity, and quality. So, finding out undesirable deviations of the employees' performance and then correcting their performance and achieve the organization goal are called direct control. They provide evidence after the fact that loss or error has occurred, but do not prevent them from occurring. So, direct control may be further classified into two types, partial control and overall control. Partial control is designed for the specific things like policies, wages, salaries, cash, cost, capital expenditure, etc. Overall controls are designed to measure the success of organization as a whole against organizational objectives. Most of the controls discussed so far, such as human resource control, market control, cost control, quality control, inventory control, variance analysis, etc., come under the direct control. So, what are the factors influence the direct control? The factors, first one is uncertainty. The second, the lack of knowledge, experience, lack of communication, lack of coordination. Uncertainty. In uncertainty, every business enterprises, all managerial activities contain risk, fact, and uncertainties. So, compounded to risk and facts, uncertainty is the important element. So, it creates the negative deviations in the performance. So, uncertainty reduces the actual plan. Managerial errors are caused by unforeseeable events. So, futures cannot be predicted accurately. In this situation, direct control is not effective. Then the second one is lack of knowledge and experience. In every organization, managerial position is an important device to attain their goals. So, inexperienced, untrained managers are unable to control process effectively. So, qualified, experienced person should be appointed as a manager for effective direct control. Then the third one is lack of communication. It is the communication gap between the different units in the enterprises which affect the managerial activities. It also affect the direct control. Okay, then effective steps for direct control. So, success of a direct control in an organization depends upon the performance measurement, effectively time utilization, discovering the errors on time, employee participation, effective coordination. So, first one is performance measurement. In every enterprise, some standards can be fixed, input, output, price, cost, time and quality are subject to numerous standards. If there is any deviation from standards, skilled managers find out the deviation and correct it. Technical skill, creativity skill, and problem solving skills are useful to measure the performance of each employee. Effective manager is able to locate the poor performance area to control it effectively so that it is possible to minimize the cost. The second one is effectively time utilization. Generally, manager conduct various inquiries and meetings and they consume more time. The effective utilization of time increases the effective control. Then the third one is discovering the errors on time. Generally, errors have taken place in the major areas such as cash, inventories, production, etc. The able managers can find out the mistakes in correct time and take necessary steps to correct the mistakes. So, the feedword techniques is used for effective control. This technique is used to correct the mistakes rather than avoiding the mistake. Then the fourth one is employee participation. The involvement of employees in all the activities of the organization leads to effective control. Then the fifth one is effective coordination. Increase the coordination of all the unit increases the effective management. Effective coordination leads to effective control. Okay, this is the effective steps for direct control. Then preventive control. So preventive control attempts to prevent undesirable acts from occurring. So they are proactive controls designed to prevent a loss, error or omission. An efficient manager applies the skills in managerial philosophy to eliminate undesirable activities which are the reasons for poor management. It is called preventive control. The examples of preventive controls are separation of duties, proper authorization, adequate documentation, physical security over cash and other assets. Okay, thank you. Thanks for listening.